it's interesting that in Daniel, he also talks about the king's diet, and how he did take that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning too, I'm glad you brought that up.
What did she say?
How Daniel, he wasn't going to partake of the king's diet, it's interesting.
Yeah.
He didn't want to defile his temple, and he's in exile, his temple just got destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying, you know what, I'm not gonna partake in that, and because of that, he was smarter. And look at the life of Daniel, talk about somebody, I mean, there are a few people that were closer to God than Daniel. I mean, that guy was.
Well, and if you will, I think it's one of the things that, like Roger was I think was getting at was, so what can we use this for?
Right, right.
You know, and if you would, I think that is one aspect you could look at it is rededicating your temple,
Mm-hmm.
your altar, if you will, you know, or this temple that you have, and saying, taking this as a time, an 8-day period where you treat it well, you dedicate it, you rededicate it, you do whatever you can to this physical temple to make it his again, if you will, or acceptable to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just as
Sure.
individuals, and then together as a body, if there's, you know, I don't know all the personal ins and outs of this group, but if there's any kind of animosity, if there's anything that's in the way in between any of us, let's flush it out and let's say, hey, this is here. It's not supposed to be in God's temple.
There's a parking lot.
Right.
And then after we fight, we eat.
There it is, that's it. We have established patterns.
Another part of the influence was the schools.
Yeah, ooh, huge.
The education
What?
system that they had back then. And look at it, where we are today, and look at our professional sports. I mean, where are we today versus what is going on there?
Yeah.
And now, then you get into the theater. The theater was the other realm of influence that they brought in. Hollywood.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you have three major influences there, and look at, as today, our schools, our sports, our movies.
Yeah,
our
absolutely.
entertainment.
Absolutely.
And those are all things that the world likes, and makes it hard for them to consider looking at Torah.
Wonder where the internet was back then.
Al Gore hadn't made it up yet.
It's like
Yeah,
that
and
saying
all
I've always heard, the devil can't make you evil, but he can make you busy.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and all of those things, you know, watching a football game or watching, you know, some TV show that's acceptable, or even going to school, those can either be seen as like, you know, those are okay things, or even sometimes honorable things, you know, if I'm a really good student. But, you know, all these things are distractions, like I said, so little bit by little bit, you know, a bunch of drops makes the bucket full.
It's not only that, they're false.
They're false.
They're illusions.
And it's just like the knowledge you were talking about, the school system. This is the classic thing from the beginning. It's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We desire to be knowledgeable. It's that lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life. Somebody else had their hand up.
I was gonna say, this kind of reminds me of how you see families that are so preoccupied with sports and soccer and keeping their family busy from the time they crawl out of bed in the morning till the time they fall in it at night. And they do this, and they never really concentrate on what's important. They're busying themselves with things that don't matter, thinking that, well, at least we're busy.
Right.
And this is what Phil was talking about. He'll keep you busy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, if you listen to some of these rabbis, just your day-to-day life, how much time do we spend maintaining our homes, our laundry, our cooking? You know, they keep their lives real simple so that they can spend as much time as they can in the Word, because that's the most important thing. But most of us are so busy just maintaining our lives that we eat up all our time.
Yeah, yeah. And as a community, you know, like we only get to see each other once a week. We've all got jobs and stuff to do, and I mean, you know, I don't mean to point the finger at anyone. I'm busier than, you know, I'm always busy. I work all the time, and I'm in the same boat. I can't sit down to even, you know, read sometimes or pray. It's like,
But you know,
I was gonna say, reading is important, but taking care of your neighbor is more important. When he comes back and he separates the sheep from the goats, he doesn't say, well done, to our observer. He says, well done.
Or studier.
Yeah, our studier. He says, well, you fed me when I was hungry, you clothed me. So, you're busy. We're all busy. There's a reason we're busy. He wants us out there helping our neighbors.
It starts right here.
My son, who's not really in the same walk, but there's improvements of this. He's worked very diligently trying to help those who be going to work or going to a project or something, somebody has a flat tire. And he's like, man, I gotta get right there, I gotta, but he will find a way of stopping and helping. And every time that he has done something of that nature, he's always had enough time to get it all done. So sometimes we don't need to just keep it on our schedule, we need to let God take care of his schedule.
Absolutely. I was thinking about that. We as in a macro, we started taking our time and saying, okay, we're not going to celebrate Christmas and this and this and this, and we're going to do God's feast. We get on his clock in a big day, but like you're saying, the most important thing, don't get on our schedule on the day-to-day thing. We get on his schedule on the day-to-day. Since the day-to-day is the real thing. So. Well, that's about all I have. Focus on, this week, let's just look inside of ourselves and focus on dedicating this altar.
Yeshua was conceived of her.
That's what I hear people say. Yeah. I've heard that. That's interesting.
Didn't know that.
Matter of fact, at 8 o'clock tonight on GLC, Dennis Sotero's on there, because they're teaching on the.
Cool.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Gabe.
you, Gabriel.